Well, hello there. Here we are making socks again. It's the same pair of ankle socks we've been making all along. So far we've done the ribbing, we've done the ankle, we've done the heel flap, we've done the heel shaping, and now it's really starting to look like a sock. Very cool. So now we're coming to the exciting part of making the picking up stitches along this edge. And then we'll be knitting across here, and then we'll be picking up stitches across the other side. And the heel is going to be divided in half, where it's going to be more of a triangle. So we'll get to that point in a minute. For now, we're just going to be picking up stitches and knitting. But before we start doing that, these stitches for the instep that have been on 2 needles from now, they need to be put onto 1 needle. It doesn't tell you that in the pattern. But just trust me, I've made over 25 pairs of socks and I've learned a few things. So it makes your life easier if you go ahead and put all these stitches onto 1 needle. So go ahead and slip them purlwise. Just slide them straight over to the other needle. And now you'll have all of your instep stitches on 1 needle. And the reason that we did this is so that we could free up this needle, because we're going to need more than 1 extra needle now to pick up these stitches, because we're going to be picking up stitches on this side and then we're going to be picking up stitches on that side. So if you have 2 needles occupied holding your instep, then you don't have a needle left to pick up stitches on the other side. So that's why we do it. For those of you who are saying, why are we doing this? Now you know. So now you've got all your heel stitches on 1 needle and all of your instep stitches on 1 needle. So now we're ready to pick up stitches. Now when you pick up stitches, I'm going to bring my light down a little bit so you can see a little bit better, hopefully. When you pick up stitches, you don't want to disturb this pretty design that you've got going on your heel flap. You don't want to pick up stitches in the middle of one of those pretty raised rows, those that you slipped on the other side. On this side, I mean, you don't want those to be disturbed. So you want to aim just for these that are up in the edge. And some people, when they knit socks, will slip the first stitch intentionally on the edge to make it easier for picking up stitches later. But I don't like to do that, and the reason why is because I think it makes holes at this spot, and to me it looks a lot neater if you just knit normal on along the edge. But to each his own. Everybody has their own plan, and that's fine, of course. So what I like to do is I hold it up and I stretch it out a little bit, and you'll see that there is an edge here that's easy to pick up. Now when you pick up your stitches, don't just pick up underneath 1 strand of yarn, and that's another way that will stretch out your fabric and make it look like it's got holes. So make sure you go under at least 2 strands when you pick up your stitches. So now we're going to start picking up stitches. Now what we have to do is, let me show you on the pattern where we are at this point. We finished shaping the heel, and now we're at the part where it says shape instep, and it says with right side of work facing, pick up and knit 12 stitches along the left side of the heel. Now that's an error in the pattern. It's not the left side of the heel, because if you look at your sock, we're picking up stitches on the right side of the heel. You should not be cutting your yarn now. You should be using your yarn exactly where it is, and it's on the right side of the heel. So just ignore that part where it says left side of the heel. So make sure you're not disturbing those pretty stitches and just start picking up stitches. Now you could just take a chance and just hope that you'll have 12 going across here, or you could, this is one of my little tricks I like to do. I fold my section in half where I'm going to be doing my pickup stitches. I just fold it in half, and I put a little marker right there at the halfway mark, and I'll pick up 6 stitches on each side of that marker, and that makes my life just a little bit easier. So now I know I need 6 across here. It makes it easier to space it out. So I can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about like that. So I'm going to do my first stitch right here. And see, I'm not disturbing that pretty pattern on the outside. And to pick up your stitches, you get the working yarn and you wrap it around that needle that you just poked through, and then you pull it real far over to the right side and you pull that strand of yarn through that hole that you just made. So it's a little bit like crochet. And now you're going to pick up another one, so you stick it in another spot, you wrap it, and you pull it through that spot. So now we've got 2. I need 4 more right here. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. I just kind of eyeball it. I'll go under here. So now I've got 3. I still need 3 more. So now I need 2 more. So after you pick up stitches a few times, you'll get better at it. It'll be hard the first few times because you might have trouble pulling the yarn through. And if that happens, just be patient. Just keep stretching it out until you can see it. Just don't stretch it out to the point where you distort the fabric. So there, now I picked up 6. Now I can remove my marker because I've already finished halfway. And now I need 6 more. So I'm going to look across here and think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what I like to do is I hold up the section where my instep begins, where this next needle begins. I don't want to go past that point when I'm picking up stitches. I want to stay up in here. So my last stitch should be about there where that little blue thing is. So I'm going to put a marker below that so I know not to go down into there. There. So I want to stay up above that marker. So I need 6 more. So I'll just slide my needle back down. I'll stick it in there. Pull it through. Now I need 5 more. So I'll go out there. Pull it through. I need 4 more. 4. Okay. 1. Oh, had trouble with that one. That slipped right off. I have to do it again. There. Now I need 3 more. So I'll go under there. And I need 2 more. I'm going to have to go a little further this time. I went too far. It didn't work. There. Ah, it slipped right off again. So see, even I have trouble. And I've made 25 pairs of socks. So be patient with yourself. 1 more. This is the hard part. Just relax and try to let it happen. It's not going to be easy, but it will get done. There. I think I've got 12, but I'm going to double check before I move on because I don't want to have to come back. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay! Now I can take off this marker. And after you pick up those 12 stitches, now you need to knit across the instep stitches. So just start knitting here. And pull it real tight when you do the first needle, the first stitch on the needle, to help connect it to that section where you just picked up stitches. Now, some of you might be purists and might be wondering why I just picked up the stitches instead of picking up and knitting the stitches like it says in the directions. I prefer just to pick them up, and then on the second round I will knit in the back of each stitch to make it line up properly. So we'll get there. I will get you to that point in a moment. For right now, we're just doing the first instructions, which are complicated enough. So be sure and check the next video for the first round after the shaping of the instep. So we're just knitting straight across here. La la la, la 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 la. We will get done. There. Now we're done with those 28 stitches across the instep. Now we're ready to pick up 12 stitches across here. So what I like to do is I look at where I picked up my last stitch over here, and I make a straight arrow across. I just come over here, and I know this is where I need to pick up the first stitch over here. So once again, I'm going to line up my instep to see where it lines up, because I don't want to go beyond that point. So it looks like this little pink thing here is where I'm going to be picking up my first stitch. So I'm going to stick my needle in there. Now I'm going to fold everything again, get my halfway point, and mark that so I know I just do 6 and 6. So now let's make sure I'm not getting into the pretty section, and I'm not, yay. So here's my first stitch, and this is probably one of the trickiest parts actually of the whole sock, is making sure that you pull this tight as you're picking up this first stitch, because it's the first stitch on this needle. So you have to just be real careful with that. There we go. Now I need 5 more across here. So I stick it in there, wrap it, and pull it through. There's 2. Now I need 4 more. 1, 2. Now I've done 4, I need 2 more, so I can move out a little bit more here. That's 5. I'll do 1 more. That will be 6. There. So you see they're not perfectly spaced, but they're pretty good. They're not bad. Now, I just have 6 more to pick up. This first section is really just getting your needle set up. So there's 1, I need 5 more. 2, 3 more. 4, 5, and here's the last one. Make sure I go under more than 1 strand. I seem to be going under, yeah, I think I'm under 2. Good. 6. Now let's double check and make sure I got 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay! Woohoo! Now we've got all the stitches all the way around on the needles. So we have 4 needles, don't we? And this is a problem because we only have 4 needles. So we don't have a needle to knit with now. So we just need to look on our instructions here. We picked up and we knit, and then we knit across the instep, and then we picked up and knitted 12. Now it says knit the first however many number of stitches from heel onto the end of the 3rd needle. So I need to knit the first 9 stitches because I'm doing size medium. So I'm going to knit the first 9 stitches off the heel. So I'm just going to keep using the same needle that I picked up those stitches with, because I'm only going to be adding 9 more stitches. So make sure that one's down underneath so it's easy to hold, just like back when we first started working on the sock. Doing 9 stitches here. 1, 2, 3. What we're actually doing is picking up knitting half of these stitches, right? So I just need to knit until there's 9 left, because I know that there's, well, I need to knit until there's 8 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 3 more. because I have 17 stitches on my heel. It's not an even number yet, but we'll have it straightened out eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, I had 8 left over. Now, get that back over here. Now let's look at the instructions again. And the instructions say, after we knit those first stitches from the heel onto the end of the third needle, now we slip the remaining stitches from the heel onto the beginning of the first needle. So this will be the first needle now. And we're going to be slipping all of these stitches that are left over onto that needle there. So I'm going to flip it around this way. It's easier for me to slip from left to right for some reason. Maybe because I'm right-handed? Who knows? Maybe because I'm American. I like to see things go from left to right. I don't know. I just like doing it left to right. It just feels right. There. Okay. Now we have a needle left over now. Yay! We have a working needle again. Now you might have a set of 5 needles and it wouldn't matter so much to you, but anyway. Now our needles are in a pretty triangle shape again, and you can look and you can see where your yarn is, where your working yarn just ended. Now this is your first needle, this is your second needle, and this is your third needle. So that's the way they will be referring to them from now on. So there we go. Let's look at what it says at the very end here. This says you should now have, well, it doesn't say you should now have, it just says blank stitches on first needle, blank stitches on second needle, and blank stitches on third needle. I have 20 stitches on the first needle, 28 stitches on the second needle, and 21 stitches on the third needle. So let's check that. Make sure that our stitches are the way they say they should be. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yay! I have 20 on the first. I know I have 28 over here, but I'm going to count them again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. Yay! And we should have 21 on the third needle. So let's count those. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Awesome! Well, now we're ready for the next section, so I will see you in the next video, and I will wait while you pick up all your stitches and you knit across the instep and you pick up more stitches, and then you arrange the heel stitches the way they're supposed to be. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Be good! See you on the Bernat website in the forum.